everybody, and welcome to the live interview with this fashion stylist and guru, which is Erin Bradley. I'm just going to wait for her to show up, and then I'm going to add her in, and she is going to teach us how to be fashionistas, because clearly I'm not one. You'll see in a moment. Okay, so we're just waiting for Erin. Just give it a moment. We did a little test, so I'm hoping that this is going to work just fine. You don't see it? Okay. Nothing there yet? Can you refresh? Okay, let's just see. Let's just see. I'm just going to see if this thing is working. Pages. Oh, somebody's there. Oh, there you are. Hi, Erin. Okay, let's just do what we did last time. I think it just took a little bit. Add Erin. Okay. Can you hear it? Hi.
You see me? Hello.
Yeah. Perfect. Alrighty. John, I'm just making sure the hubby over here is able to share it. Can you see it yet? Okay, so never mind. It might just take a moment. And
that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to tag us here and share it.
Got it. A little reminder. My Insta story. Yeah, my story. I'm like somewhere.
Yeah, I'm giving this a whirl. So Erin, you're inside your closet, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm in my bedroom and my closet's behind me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you just give anybody who's watching a little bit of your background and what it is that you do?
Sure. My name is Erin Bradley and I live in Victoria, BC, and I am a makeup and hair artist and stylist. And styling includes closet editing, so going to people's homes and editing their closet and helping them develop their style better, personal shopping, makeup lessons, any of that kind of gamut. But yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
I've been doing it for about 20 years now, almost 20 years.
Oh my goodness. 20 years been doing it? Holy moly.
I know. I was like, I had to think about that. I was like, oh, okay, like that's a couple years.
Well,
I'm
glad you preempted that because, one of the reasons I wanted to do this interview with you is because, well, I'm old and some of my friends are too. So we're in our late 50s and we've been hibernating at home for the past.
Yes.
And I mean, I was lucky enough, I think in January of 2020, I went out shopping with Jody. Oh, thanks, John. But
yep.
She's lovely, right? And she dressed me up and I was all ready to go. And then we got locked down. Yikes.
Everything changed.
Things change. So I'm going to show you.
All of a sudden, we're like, Zoom, what?
Watch this. I'm not sure if you can read my t-shirt.
Let me see. Something. I'm the reason. Oh, there we go. I'm the reason the beer's something gone.
So I've taken to wearing John's t-shirts, and they aren't very flattering, but sailor. He's in the background helping us.
I mean, you know what though? Like comfort has been the theme of this past year, and I mean, most of us we're hibernating at homes. We're like safe and feeling comfortable. So pajamas and sweatpants have become the new norm. And I mean, as things slowly start to maybe and hopefully change, having to like kind of break out of that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge. And I think like the most important thing from this whole like talk and stuff is like, be gentle with ourselves. We are all struggling and this is changing, and we need to like honor that we are coping, and whatever that looks like, and some of us have gained weight, some of us are stressed. It just, I think like be gentle with yourself and give yourself just a little hug because I mean, it's hard, but there's definitely solutions and tricks on making yourself feel better while you're transitioning to, working outside the home again, or like still working from home and feeling just more confident, all those things. So yeah.
One of the things I find, and one of my girlfriends and I were just joking about it last week, is she's like, well, I'm lucky if I get out of my blue robe before noon, right?
Yeah.
I force myself to get up and just, pretend you're going to work, into the office and put on the, wonderful top with the pajama bottoms, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the beauty. Like, so many the people joke, but that's like people are like, I'm wearing sweatpants, but my fancy top. And I mean, I've been lucky that my job, I haven't had to use really Zoom. I can't really. I tried doing a Zoom makeup lesson, and it was like, it was a little challenging. But for the most part, like, I'm still able to like go out, and I have to look good. I have to still look presentable, and so it's been like a blessing, but it's also hard because I still have that tendency to just want to throw on my pajamas as soon as I get home and be comfortable the same. So like finding a balance of both and still like feeling stylish is it's a challenge for all of us. So even for me, who I'm like, this is my job, supposedly.
Oh, I see Samantha and Joanne. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Do you mind if I jump in right into the questions?
absolutely. Yeah, hit me.
Because I took a few from some folks that were wanting to get these questions answered. So let's start with the first one. This is from Jackie. She says, okay, thank goodness, sorry, I just had a thing saying I need to get my hair done. No kidding. Um, I need to go shopping. I'm not set up to wear normal clothes 7 days a week. Pre-COVID, I was normally 2 days out of 5 days in work, whatever. What are the trends? Like, what do I do now? Because yeah.
Well, I mean, right now, if you go into the stores, I have been shopping with people lately, and everything is lounge sets. Like, it is actually hard to find like more slightly structured or more like dressy stuff. So everything has gone definitely more cash, which is good, but then it's also depending on what you're looking for. And if you're still having to like be a bit corporate or be a bit more professional, like finding an in between. So there are still stores I find and like trends to maybe think about, but I don't know, I wouldn't worry too much about trends, especially like if you're in your like 50s 60s, like you can like look at the trends, but I wouldn't try to just like do head to toe trend. So one of the trends right now for sure is like high-waisted pants, whether they're a little bit wider or still skinny leg, but the high-waisted is like back. And I'm really grateful. I'm really glad I like the high-waisted because I have a long torso, and like anything that comes up higher, like these on me, like on someone else, they probably come up to their rib cage. But I'm like, can't you see it? See, like my belly button is like right here. So my pants like go right up, which is great for kind of like elongating my leg and like hiding my mum tum that I'm like it's not my favorite part of me. So the high rise is actually it's a good trend to kind of jump into because you can still wear stuff over top of it. It doesn't mean you need to wear like a crop top or tuck in your tops. Like you can still like have the high-waisted jeans and then have something over top of it. It's just an extra bit of support, to be honest. So high-waisted stuff is definitely in, and places to go for that. Like I find, especially right now, if you're transitioning and you're not the size that maybe you want to be, no one ever is, but like if you don't want to invest, a lot of your clothes aren't really fitting, like go to somewhere that's more affordable or online or whatnot. But like the Gap, I've gotten a lot of jeans at the Gap lately, and they're affordable, and the sizing I usually have to go down or something like that. They just fit more, I find, true. So for me, the Gap has been a saver. Even Old Navy. So spending under $100 on a pair of pants that can get you through and that you can be wearing right now but still feel good, because you're never going to be like the weight you want to be. So if you wait until then to invest in clothes, you're just going to feel like crap until then, supposedly, right? Like, so if you dress good now, even like whatever size you are, invest like just a little bit of money on some not super expensive stuff that will get you through to like whatever season or to when you're like wanting to be more active and whatever. So you still need to feel good in between. Does that make sense?
It totally does. I mean, like I was saying before.
Trends, you don't have to totally worry about trends. Like you can go online, and some of them, like the high-waisted jeans or like some of the long sweater jackets, are like a great try. Like here, where's one of my, I picked up some like examples. So like this one is from Papillon. I got it in Sydney at, oh crap, what was the store? It's one of the stores in Sydney, but anyways, but the brand Papillon, you can get it at like, there's a lot of like boutiques locally that carry this brand, and even the Bay sometimes carries it. But these like kind of like sweater jackets that have usually like a little bit of structure, they're still comfortable and they're still stretchy. So still comfort is like key. So whether you're wearing like a lounge set and you're just hanging out at home, or you're trying to like dress up something but still feel comfortable, like still feel like you can wear pajamas but look stylish. If that makes sense. Like you can still have the comfort of pajamas. So things like this are good. Or the shirt dresses. those are kind of coming like back, whether they're belted or not. So this is just like a button up. So you could wear it just partially buttoned over top of like skinny jeans and have a top and wear it like a jacket, or you could have it all done up and then put, let me find something. Put like a little jacket over top of it to make it, to break it up a little bit. Or sometimes they have belts, but the shirt dresses are back. I've seen a lot of
shirt dress, because so far I've loved the two outfits you picked out, because like,
oh good.
That sweater is absolutely gorgeous. I must.
Right. And I mean, the whole key to like dressing your body, whenever I'm telling my clients, is frame your face, define your waist. So those two things are always like every outfit that you create, you should be thinking about that. So, you know, for me, like framing your face could mean like jewelry. It could mean neckline. It could be color. It could be like I'm wearing a scarf or not. It doesn't have to be like, you just have to think about this area. And that's the area that when people are talking or engaging with you, that they're looking at. So picking colors that are complementary, paneling is like so great. So that's where like having that longer sweater kind of jacket thing, or putting that little jacket over top of the sweater or the shirt dress or whatever, just breaks it up. So wearing pattern in the center or colors that are really complementary to you, that's going to brighten up your face and frame that better. And then this just makes things look narrower. Like instead of just having like all pattern, you know, like having something over top, whether it's like a little crop jacket or my like motorcycle jacket or a jean jacket or the sweater, like the long sweater, those are my three like go-tos for kind of like paneling over top of things. So whether you look better in high neck stuff or you look better in like more of a V, just figuring that out, but then picking colors that like brighten your face and complement it.
Oh, that's, I see they do that trick on Wheel of Fortune.
Well, and the defining your waist is funny. Like that doesn't mean put a belt on. Like that, you know, back in, I feel like there was like the 2000 and something, you know, where we wore those like thick belts. Like everything's like put a belt on it. That we don't have to do that. Like it's often about like tailoring of things, like making sure that you're not wearing one of the like really long like drop shoulder things that kind of cuts out your waist. Or if you are, if it's something flowy and a little bit shapeless, that you can put maybe a little like crop jacket or something over top of it to bring it back in. Because I'm all for like flowy stuff, but then sometimes you need something like, I'll put my other jacket on. Let's show you. So like this one's kind of flowy. Like it could be a bit longer. Like if you're wearing like a true tunic style, it would be a bit longer. I love how I'm just like changing. I'm just getting changed. Anyways, but wearing something like a jacket or something that's a bit shorter that comes to more your natural waist, and then the flowy bit goes below it, instantly that's going to draw attention into where everyone's their smallest. Like you're always your smallest, right? Kind of where your bra, at the bottom of your bra. That's where you want to draw in. So whether it's the tailoring of a jacket or like something a bit cropped or just anything that can define that area more will always just give more shape, and it kind of just frames the face.
So I know that most of us are doing I know my friends are for sure. Well, I am, but we just wear this long t-shirt, or we find a long sweater and we cover cover the front, and it's forever going into the waist because we're not where we want to be. Right?
No, yeah. So wear the long t-shirt, like wear the long t-shirt, wear a long sweater, wear a long dress, but then just like get a little jacket or a little sweater to go over top of it. And it will, like, even a jean jacket, like jean jackets are classic. Like you can't go wrong with a jean jacket. So many people have them in their closet. So as long as they're not too boxy, it's an easy throw on, especially like, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I love t-shirts. I love like your t-shirt, even that you're wearing right now, you could easily wear that with a pair of jeans. And like, I've done it before, and just throw on like a jacket or a sweater, and it looks still kind of rocker chic or something. Like you can do it. It's just, you know, what you're accessorizing with. Cause I mean, the most basic like t-shirt and jeans immediately looks better if you throw on like a little like bomber jacket. And you could do like, I love all the places that are coming out with these like kind of the faux suede like little jackets. Like I have this in black and this kind of like blush color that I got at a consignment store, Verve Consignment in Victoria. I love that place. And like it's lightweight and it's still like kind of layering, but again, it's not fully like a jacket. Like you can still wear it inside and not feel like you're just not taking your outer layers off. But again, that's something more interesting that
those of us that are, you know, in this age group, well, let's just say hot flashes is all the time. right?
Yes. Yes. So layering is key. So that's where if you were layering like a tank top or something and then wearing like that sweater, like here, let me show that. Here, I'll put that sweater on. Because this sweater, like, I wasn't sure about the color. I was like, oh, I don't know. But it's neutral, so it ends up going with so much more. And because it's not shapeless, because it has like this kind of cool color, it makes it look a little bit more like a jacket. Like, that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like it's not just like one of those, like I know like everyone has those like really drapey hangy like sweaters,
Yeah.
which are okay, but if you're wearing like a long drapey top and then you're wearing the long drapey sweater, everything just looks heavy. Like it just looks, there's way too much fabric. So if you're gonna do the drapey top or the drapey sweater, then like tuck in or wear like a slightly more fitted or like a patterned like top underneath to look more interesting. Like instantly my legs are going to look longer as soon as I like just even front tuck the shirt and not look so like everything looks weighted down here. It looks like I have a waist. And again, like this is all drawing into this area and then cutting away. So instead of looking boxy, this does have like a belt on it. You can, I don't know. Not many people tie the belt though. So I usually like don't, because then it kind of looks like I'm wearing a robe, like a,
yeah. Doesn't go the same as your other one.
Right? Like, so, I mean, anything open. So you can still wear the comfy sweater, but you just think about like what you're wearing underneath and like the color that you're wearing and stuff and still being comfortable.
Okay, I have a hard one for you. So I bought a beautiful top. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I think I got it at Spank. That's
yeah.
Right. And it's got just like the halfway. It's kind of a flowy. It's white. It's got a little bit of pink and gold in it. It's just so pretty, but it unfortunately isn't long.
Right.
It's a shorter top. I didn't realize when I bought it. One of those ones that tie in the front.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're all shorter right now because they're all to go with the high-waisted pants.
Yeah. So when I put on the high-waisted pants and I wear the top, I look like
yeah,
just straight and awful. Is there
and where does it feel awful? Like it just feels awful everywhere, or just the top? Like what is it emphasizing that you don't like?
My waist. It makes me look like I'm gonna just say it makes me look like I'm rather large.
Got it.
Box.
So and that is where the paneling makes a difference.
Okay.
Like that, where having something so that you're just seeing like a sliver of things can help. Like it can just decrease volume, and pattern always will soften volume. Like if you wear a solid color and like fitted, it's always going to be and show more like volume than if you wear something patterned. It's hard to know like where things are coming out and where they're not. So picking like a medium-sized print as like the center to kind of cover that tummy area, even if you're covering this area, like, I mean, I know what you mean, that little tie thing, it would come to there. But if you have this other layer over top that kind of is draping, you're still seeing your waist, but you're kind of, I don't know, you're just being a bit more strategic. And if you're gonna do like no jacket, like say it's the summer and you're like hot, you just want to wear that top, then you know, picking something that's like, what style of pants are you wearing with it?
I actually tried it on with the jeans, the high-waisted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no go. You know what? Do something that's a little bit like, were they skinny leg or were they wider leg?
Skinny leg.
Do something wider leg. Do something like more of a trouser. Like, you know, go back to like trousers in like 2000 and whatever, you know, when like the wider leg was a bit more popular in trouser jeans, but the waist was lower. So now when you get like a slightly wider like leg, the waist is higher. So it tends to be a little bit more comfortable and flatting. I got a pair from, let me find them, from Gap.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll show you both two of these. These are, yeah, the Gap ones. So they're, you know, like they're pretty high waist. I think they're called Vintage Flare High Rise is what they're called. But they have like a pretty wide leg for, you know, now, because like skinny would be like half of that. But what it does is it helps balance volume. So instead of everything being like, you know, super skinny and showing all the weight more in the center, it'll balance it so it just kind of like floats out. And that's where like some of the fabrics that are a little bit more flowy are a bit more forgiving, so that they're defining at your waist and then just kind of like hanging down. I have a pair of these from, where did I get these? I think I got these from, but like a couple years ago from RW maybe, let me see. No, American Eagle. And they're pretty high-waisted, but they're like kind of linen-y, and they're wider at the bottom. Like they're a bit cropped, but they're just like, and they've got little buttons.
Those,
There's like,
oh, coat.
but they're really comfortable and they kind of flow. Like depending on my weight though. Like sometimes the like tummy area is a little bit more fitted. So, but they stretch out. They stretch out a bit as I wear them. So usually after a couple hours, I'm like, oh yeah, flowy. I feel like I'm vacationing somewhere. And they don't have a big pleat. Like there's a lot of pleat things happening now. I would just like try to stay away from too much pleating because it will just emphasize volume. So this is like small enough that it just kind of like falls like a box pleat that's flatter rather than like puckering.
Okay.
So I would try a wider, like you do like medium to high rise. Try that jean so that it hits at a good spot with, or wear a tank top underneath so that you don't see your tummy.
Okay.
And then try like a wider leg jean. It could even just be like a straight leg or like slightly wider. It doesn't have to be like super wide. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I
would Jackie's question. And that was, let's see here. So she said, yeah, so now I need to know where to shop. I'm finding places are too young for me now.
Yes. So that's where like, again, like affordable wise, like I like RW for businessy stuff. Like they have a pretty decent selection of like blouses that are a bit dressier and jackets and some dresses. Like aside from that, like the Bay is always like, I find the Bay carries so many different brands, and plus to petite, it's great. Consignment is great. I love doing consignment stores because you find unique things that are high quality, usually for a lot less. So Turnabout in like Oak Bay is one of my faves, and Verve Consignment. There's so many consignment stores in Victoria, but they're great if you know what you're looking for, or you just kind of like go in and find like little gems. So I like to shop there. But the Gap and Old Navy are good like standbys for just getting like a couple t-shirts, getting a pair of jeans that aren't crazy expensive in the meantime, or just to even do trends. Like if you want to be a bit trendy, but you don't want to invest a lot, then get like a pair of the slightly wider jeans that are a bit cropped and high-waisted right now. And I mean, you'll wear them to death and then you'll be like, it'll be fine. I'm loving the high waist. I'm like, I hope this trend never goes away, but it better not ever go back to those like low riders. Will be like, but never will I go back to that.
I think last time I interviewed you, you were talking about the cold shoulder look because the cold shoulder was in.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is going to be so out soon. Like,
yeah.
Bought a bunch. Guess what?
I know that's the thing, and you don't want to. I don't know, like trends are fine, but just like buy one thing of a trend or buy accessories, like, or if, you know, that's why, yeah, I don't know. That's why dressing more classically, like finding things that just fit your body really well and suit your shape make more sense to me than trying to be too trendy. So buy an accessory or buy something that's within that trend and then, you know, wear your classics.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I'm certainly not going back to crop tops.
Well, here, like the thing is, like, don't poo-poo on the crop tops or even bodysuits. Can I tell you that I know you heard it here. I'm like, bodysuits are actually really helpful because they can be a really good smoothing layer underneath, like, that are into your pants. So you're not having to worry about like tank tops that are like rolling. It's basically just like smooths out. And they have ones that are just good for slimming but don't feel like you're wearing Spanx. Like a fabric that's a little bit thicker. I've gotten a couple from like places like Aritzia that can be a bit young, but they have actually some fairly good like basic staple things that any age I find can wear. So bodysuits, I know, surprising, but like even with a skirt, like I have, okay, let me find. I've got a bodysuit. I feel like Baywatch when I put this on, but I'm like, anyway, that like it's a red, it's like a thong one. Don't worry about that. But it's the bodysuit, and I wear like a skirt like over top of this, and because it's all like smoothed out, I don't have to worry about like the tank like riding up. So if you're wearing like a comfy skirt or you're wearing jeans, it just again like smooths out all the sides and you get less like bumps. But that's, I mean, a whole other topic is the right undergarments. I feel like that can be such a game changer for wearing jeans or dresses or tops. Like that's yeah.
Do people wear those still?
Which, like, wear what?
Are people still wearing undergarments these days?
Yeah, I have like some of my favorite ones. Like I have a pair of like full bottom underwear that go right up to underneath my bra. So when I wear dresses, instead of getting like the underwear digging in here or your like stuff, it just goes like all the way up. So then you get like a nice like silhouette on your waist area, and it just smooths like tummy and everything out. So those Shaper, Mint, I don't know, there's so many different brands now that have them, but it's just like underwear up your, and it's super comfy. It's not, I don't feel like a sausage like compressed, because so many of them are so uncomfortable. But like the tank ones or the bodysuits, the underwear ones that go up to here, they're really good for kind of smoothing out that area, whether you're wearing jeans or whatnot. And even underwear, like I find that if you wear underwear that's a little bit higher waisted, especially if you're wearing pants that are up that high, it makes a huge difference in flattening out this area. Instead of having underwear that's like bikini, that's cutting in right under your tummy, like the tummy area that usually is sticking out, and it just makes it stick out more. So having underwear that goes up closer to like where your pants are going up and stuff makes like the world of difference.
Wow.
I actually got a bunch of those, is it NYX? I think the NYX brand.
Okay.
And they have like, they've got some decent options and stuff like that for like higher waisted and whatnot. But
okay. Now I'm going to go on to the next question. I'm getting blind. Hang 1 second.
got it.
I would like some tips in makeup because I come from home, literally,
Yeah,
and need to wear a mask. I haven't worn lipsticks in ages. Any ideas? Designer masks? What should?
yeah. So I actually looked it up. I wear mostly the disposable ones for my work. So I only have a couple awesome handmade masks that my friend Sam made me. But I made a list. I did some research. So the best. Okay. So apparently Lululemon has a good mask. Like I don't know if it looks like it kind of goes over your head though. So hair wise, but like a bit more, like if you're a bit more active and whatnot, the Lululemon mask is quite popular. Even just going on Etsy, because they have so many beautiful like fabrics and things that you can like be a little bit more specific about and find a good design that a lot of people have reviewed. Etsy, like supporting local and supporting small business, I'm all for that. So looking on there or having friends who are making it. I also win this search, Ace and Jig is one to look up, and Rickshaw Bags. They also have masks or something. So I did a little Google search and just like looked up like the top most fashionable masks. But I mean, some of it's so personal depending on what you're doing. Like I find like some of the fabric ones just feel like too tight and restrictive. And that's why like the disposable work better for me for hours at a time for work. But if you're just going into the grocery store and just need like more of a fabric one on, yeah, I feel like there's lots of options where you can be a bit stylish, but I find the ones that aren't as dark and that are a little bit lighter and even have like a bit of a pattern to them are the most flattering, and they go with the most. Like I have one that's kind of a dusty rose color with a little bit of white in it, and I wear that the most because it kind of blends more with like my complexion and whatnot. So it's not quite as like black and stark and obvious. So some of them. So picking like a color and stuff that goes with a lot of your clothing, if you need to be a little bit stylish with it, I would recommend. And if you are wearing a mask, like this is the thing, you can't really wear lipstick as much to show off anymore. I'm sure lipstick sales have just plummeted, you know, so eyes are the focus. So making sure that, you know, doing a great mascara and knowing how to play up your eyes, which I know we wanted to talk about, is now the thing that people see. Like that's, and their brows, like brows are framing. So your eyes are kind of becoming the focus, and not wearing as much makeup under your face, because then you're just going to get the like maskne, and, you know, it's just getting kind of pushed into your face and on the mask and all that. So
Well, this is a nice little transition there. That's the next question I was going to ask. I get asked it all the time. The questions come in, and that's about hooded eyes.
Yes.
How can we, especially as we get older, find that the eyes are kind of drooping, the eyelids? Yeah, something to look forward to.
I know, yay! Well, I did my makeup kind of accordingly today, because I actually have hooded eyes as well. So let me just get out, I've got a couple little tricks. So I do have, I talk about this a little bit in some of the makeup tutorials that I've done on my what's it called, YouTube page. So Erin Bradley Artist, I do have some like YouTube videos. But the key things when you're trying to deal with hooded eyes is having like a good brush. So this is an Elite Cosmetics brush, and it's called the Blend brush, but something that's like rounder, that's going to fit in and actually like do that contouring and soften that lid. Because when you've got a descended like kind of like puffier lid, anything light you put on it is going to come forward and make it look puffier. Anything darker, like, or medium tone, is going to set it back. But we don't want to set back like that center of your lid, because that area is kind of being hidden. So you want to basically use, like, if you look at my eyes, like I've used this brush here to kind of do this upper area, so that even when I smile, like, you can still see that color. And when my eyes get smaller, you can still see that medium tone there, setting that area back. But then the inner of my eye and the center is still lighter, so that that area comes more forward. So it's those two steps, and then even just a bit of mascara. You could do liner. Like my liner, I started like halfway and then just did like the outer and did a little bit thicker, so that it makes my eyes look a little bit more like lifted at the outer half, but not doing like heavy liner all the way across to the inside, because then it just makes your eyes look smaller. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're doing a little bit heavier on the outer side, which,
yeah,
that makes sense. That's what I haven't been doing. I've noticed.
So, and a color, like I would, like a regular palette for me, I've got a couple different ones. This is like a Charlotte Tilbury one, but this color right here, like in between those two, would be the color that I would choose. So it's usually like 2 to 3 shades, maybe 2 shades darker than your skin tone. So you're using that, and then you're kind of starting at your lash line, but you're not going, like most people will take this brush and they'll do this. They'll like windshield wiper it towards the outside and down, but that's just making your eye look droopier. So if you start at the base of like your, sorry, outside of your lash line, but in a little bit, you don't want to go out too far, because then it'll drop down here. So in just from your lashes, and then just kind of go straight up and over. And this fluffy brush does all the work for you, because it's rounded and your crease is rounded in there. So instead of using a flat brush and trying to like paint it on like that, you're actually going to get more of like a blend and like a 3-dimensional look, rather than like flat and edgy. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, and you always want to have, like if you're doing a darker color, you always want to have another brush that you're using for light. So you use your light to go on and like blend. And if you put your dark on, you can always take that light brush and go in and soften and blend the edge, or use your finger a little bit, but you're not using one brush to do light and dark, because it'll just get muddy and look crappy. It's just like, it's not good. So using like, that medium tone on the outside, and then keeping the inner, and you can use a little bit of shine for the center or the inner, but keep it matte on that outer crease. Like don't be using a shiny color there, because it's just going to show up texture on your lid.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So you can combine mattes and satins and stuff like that. It just depends on where. But yeah, anything like sometimes in the middle, like more of a satin is nice, and it's kind of it's a nice in between.
Oh,
but that's what I would do for makeup, so that like the inner of your eye, and that is like brightening and popping, and then usually a bit of concealer, mascara, pencil in your brows, maybe a little, or a bit of shadow, and then your eyes are framed and ready to go.
And so what is your thoughts on, I've heard differing opinions out there, everybody's got one, but on concealer, that we're older now, do we put the concealer, is it like this diamond shape like this? Some people are saying,
you know what, it's often like people they put too much product on their face. That's like they're caking it with foundation, and they're putting concealer on and like primer and all these things. Like keeping it simple is just going to be better in the long run. And not putting, like you put concealer, I've seen so many people, they'll go to put concealer on and they'll put like dots, they'll do this, and then they'll do this, and they'll like, all that product is now being pushed to the outside part of your eye. So you're not actually covering the area that is really the darkest. So most people don't have a lot of darkness out here. Some people do, but most of it's that concentrated area right there. So the best thing to do is you can use your finger, but the problem with your finger is that the heat of your finger just dissolves and kind of pushes it out. So if you use, like you could even use a brush like this, but something that's a little bit softer and fluffier, and just like pressing and dabbing in the product just in that area, and maybe using your finger to kind of smooth it, but you're really only putting stuff right here. Like that's it. And then it's kind of like shearing out kind of in this like triangular area, but you're not like putting a ton of product on and then just like wiping it to the outside. Because then when you smile, all it does is sit in your frown lines, like your smiling lines.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, less product. And often like some people need 2 different colors of concealers. One correcting. So if you've got really dark circles, if you go too light, like if you go a shade lighter so then your skin to brighten, and you've already got darkness there, it will just look ashy. So it will, like, if you pick something lighter, it will look kind of gray, purpley, just not what we want. We want something brighter. So often to get rid of like a darker circle, you need something that has almost like a bit of a pinky, peachy, salmony color, often to the concealer to kind of color correct. and then you can go over top with like your like brightening concealer. So sometimes you need both. I have a product by Becca that I use quite a bit. Anyways, it's like for my skin tone, it's like a pale peach color. It's kind of hard to see, but it's more creamy, and texture wise, yeah, like as you're aging, if you go too matte, it just looks too dry. But if you go too creamy, it can sometimes just like smear, move, or get into your mascara. So the key is just using less, doing a small amount of something that's more like a skin finish, so something that's a little bit creamier, but then setting it with just like a little bit of powder. And that doesn't mean heavy, that just means like a light mineral powder that will just kind of set it and prevent it from moving around. So, yeah.
So when you go to, the other question I had was, it's going to be sunny. I know it's not sunny.
Yeah, it's going.
It's
happening.
It's coming. So out there and get a bunch of skin cancer and wrinkles and all that, but I want to look like I did.
Yes, totally. I have found a couple things. Like I've tried some of those like self tanners with the mitts, and I don't know. I'm not great at it. It's not my forte. So I have like tried, and like last summer, the Jergens natural, like you basically, there's two of them. This one is like 3 days to glow, so it's a little bit more faster, and if you did it every day we get a bit darker. And then this one, what do they say, it's just like a gradual, and they have like fair to medium, medium to tan, like, and tan to dark, or whatever is different depending on your skin tone. But I find it's not a crazy strong scent. Like there is a little bit of a scent to it, but I'll do it like every other day, and then within a week you're like definitely look more like glowy. It's not super streaky, but you always, anytime you're going to be using kind of color on your skin, you want to make sure that you've like washed, you've exfoliated any of those areas that tend to be drier, that you're not like putting a whole bunch of product in that area, because it will just streak because of the dryness. So just doing a little bit of an exfoliation first, and then yeah, using something like a moisturizer is, I find, simpler.
I like that, because the idea of being able just to put that on every couple of days, like you get out of the shower,
Yeah.
dry off or whatever, and put that on. I mean, that's
Yeah.
super simple, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't, I haven't found it transfers on my sheets. Like I usually give it a little bit of time before I put on my clothes, but it doesn't stain my hands. Like you have to wash your hands obviously after, but it's just a lot more like no fail, because most people are in a hurry. They're doing it when they're like, I need now to look like good. But this is just gradual. And I've even used the one, I think it has like, I think the extra, it's black tea extract or whatever that's in it. And I know there's probably other options too, but I even use this one on my face. Like I'll use this to just give like a little bit of color. I think it's face and body. It doesn't,
Well, I love
let me see.
this Jergens, because you can get it at Shoppers, right? You can get it at,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So freak-free results in 3 days.
Nice, nice. Okay, well, I mean, I'm the same. I've been buying all those products with the glove, and it's very expensive. And yeah, I just, I've got to have something that fits in with my routine, and I love the replace every couple of days the moisturizer that I normally know.
Because I normally, yeah, I need to moisturize my body more in general. So this, two birds, yeah, one stone.
Nice. Okay, so I have one last question for you. You've been just absolutely fabulous, by the way. I've learned so much today. Every time.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah, so because those of us that are working from home have to be on camera all the time, you know, any tips for looking better on camera? I just find that, I don't know,
yeah,
wrong.
Yeah. So aside from like some very basic makeup tips, like I think Zoom is pretty forgiving, like lighting and stuff. Like I have a little ring light here that I've used, and I just got online, and it can put my phone in, and that's handy. So having like a ring light is great. You don't want it too bright, because if you go too close, it'll start doing these like weird like skin lightning things. So you just have to like tone it down a notch. But natural light. So if you like go to like closer to your window, actually, can we try it? Can you take because you look like it's a bit shadowy wherever you are. It's not shadowy, but it's not like,
Well,
it's not
windows everywhere, which is my,
I know the light.
yeah, it's pretty, but it's, all right, still see me? You want me to go closer to a window?
Yeah, go closer. So your face, it doesn't have to be right at the window, but like closer to like natural light.
Okay, so this.
Yeah, there, way better.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Who knew?
I should actually have my computer over. Oh, see, now this is really like.
And some people like look better from below. I don't know. It's finding the right angle. Like I feel, I don't know. Like I usually will try to like angle a little bit down, But mostly having the natural light, like having some natural light on your face, and it can be like a little bit diffused. Like if you have a curtain or like a sheer curtain, you can put it on, but any type of natural light's better than like any overhead light is often going to shadow, and then just like shadow eyes and things like that. So anytime you can have more natural light, it's better.
Oh.
And that will just make it, but like a little bit of concealer, a little bit of like gloss, and maybe some blush and some mascara, and I would keep it simple. Like you don't need to go all like full makeup to do it.
And I can keep on my pajama bottoms and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was thinking you.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, this is the thing is that like you can dress up like casual t-shirts or sweatshirts. Like I have, like you can get sweatshirts that don't necessarily look like a sweatshirt in a sense. Like I have this one that I got from a consignment store in like Vancouver, but it's like a leopard print. Like it's like cute, and it, like as soon as you put on, actually I have one. So this is more like loungy. This is a tie-dye, like what I'm like, my son was so pumped because he loves tie-dye. Anyway, so it's just, I got this from where did I get it? American Eagle again. And it's got like little slits on the side, which is kind of cool. But I will like wear this to go pick my son up from school, but I put a jean jacket on it. And like, hold up. Trying to do this all quick, but not so quick. But anyways, but a jean jacket, because it's shorter, it instantly like looks a bit cooler and more put together than just wearing like a long jacket or in my sweatpants. Anyways.
Super cute.
Right, like that and some jeans, or you could be wearing stretchy pants. Like this is the thing, is that you can still wear like sweatpants but be stylish. So if a fabric that is a little bit more like a pant, like these ones are from the Gap, and they're just like, they've got the nice stretch. They go up a little bit higher, which is nice, and they've got like a, like they're more like a jogging pant. But they, and then I don't know, it's not crazy, but you could easily put that on with a t-shirt and like tuck in the front like a little bit if you want to see, and then put a jacket over top of it and still be comfortable and still look sort of stylish.
Wow.
With some little running shoes or something, or flats, like little ballet flats. I also love stripes. Like summer, I got this one from the Gap, and I wear this top like a lot. And I use it, and I'll tuck it in, like I'll tuck it in with my high, but even with this top, it's tricky. Anyways, so even if I wear something like this with this, and then have this tucked in with my jeans, like the pattern just like brightens, and it just like distracts from any texture, any extra that might be hanging. But this is where like doing that little French tuck, like doing the little, like instead of just wearing the top out, like as soon as I like tuck in just like a little bit, it just starts to get like, I just have more of a, like my legs look longer. I have shorter legs and a long torso. So anything to make my legs look longer is good.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have the long torso with the short legs. So this is like,
yeah, no.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea, I like the French tuck thing. I never knew about that. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like tucking is one of the things that when I go into people's closets and we're trying stuff on, it's a game changer for so many people, because they're like, oh, I look more like shapely instead of just like everything long and down at like usually the widest point, because so many of our shirts go and hit at our hips, right, which just make that area look wider. So tops that like dip down, or like instead of going like straight across are good, or things that you can tuck, or that's where like little jackets come in handy to soften that area.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've answered all of my questions. You've been outstanding. Is there anything else that you want to share?
No, I don't think so. Just sending hugs to everybody. Just be gentle with yourself. Like I said, invest in a couple key pieces, like maybe some new jeans, a fun jacket, and a couple t-shirts in colors that look great on you for spring, and then go from there. And it'll inspire you to be either more active or, all the things in, taking care of ourselves. So get a couple pieces. The jacket is key though. Get a fun jacket, like a jean jacket or like a little cropped like bomber jacket, and game changer.
So that's kind of what's going through my mind right now, because especially.
And who has great jackets like that? Melanie Lynn has some really great, like kind of like that suede one that I had, that pinky suede one. They have ones that have that nice, like kind of like this, but in a jacket. They have the nice like open thing, and they'll usually have like they have this little tiny thing that can hold it there together, but they're in this like soft suede, and they usually come in lots of colors. It's a staple piece that I feel like it can be dressy or it can be casual. So I would try Melanie Lynn is good for that. Like Melanie Lynn can be, I feel like if you go too matchy there and you do the matching suits and all that, it can make you look older. It can be, because that's a little bit more dated of a like the pairing, right? So mixing and matching is more like trendy and I would say younger. So I feel like places like Melanie Lynn, or I mean Reitman's now is super, I would say it's more trendy, like, but there's places that you can go that you can take specific pieces from them that work, and then don't make you look old. Like going for, I feel like it's sometimes that fabric, you know, that like polyester floral, I don't know. Yeah, there's usually slits in this. Like those kind of tops can like look really good, or they can look old depending on like what you're pairing with them, right? So, but having those little pieces like the jacket and going over top, and then having that pattern underneath, I feel like makes a big difference. And then pants and stuff. So,
Perfect.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
that makes sense. No, I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Samantha said, "Love this. Thank you so much."
Oh, Samantha's loved this. Thank you so much.
Oh, I think it's my friend Sam back in, she's in Calgary. I think she might be watching it.
Well,
Maybe.
Love Erin. Everybody, how could you not love you? You're fantastic.
Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you.
No, do check out your page, right? Your website and your page. You've got services available. I know some of my friends used you for sure.
Yeah.
And I would love to check in with you again, maybe in a couple months. Maybe I have some style, like when it's sunny out. I mean,
well, and anytime you want to do it, and if you want to try things on, it's good to like put it on, and I can be like, no, try this and do whatever, like I would normally in like a closet edit. So if you have like a top like the one you described that you need to figure out how to wear or stuff like that, like come up with a couple pieces and we can just do a quick little like how to wear this kind of segment.
I may just throw it on and put it in comments for you, and you can just
how
about that.
I like it.
That's awesome. Well, Erin, again, it's not going to be 4 years till the next time we are talking.
No,
It's going to be
so long ago.
My season for sure. But it was awesome. Thank you so much, and love you.
Yeah, mwah, love to everyone. Thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day.
You too. Take care, and
thank you. Bye.